Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're having a look at the VFC Avalon Rapier. Now this is a premium line of the Avalon series. They do some cheaper ones, the VR16s, but this is the more Gucci product that they produce. Now we're going to do a shooting test of it, but we're also going to go into a bit more details about the gun itself. We'll talk about the pros and the cons of the gun. But for now, let's hop up to the range and see what it's like for the shooting test. Okay guys, we're here on the range. We've got our ASG .2 blaster BBs here. We've got the magazine. I've put a 7.4 volt LiPo battery in here, and then when I was putting the battery in, I did notice that there is actually an inline fuse in the buffer tube as well, so that does take a bit of the battery storage space. All I was able to fit in here was a 1000 milliamp hour stick battery, so just bear that in mind if you are interested in this gun. Right, first things first, we're going to go through the chrono, see what we get as far as an FPS reading goes. We're on semi, so let's see what we get, shall we? Oh, let's try that again. 162, 211, 110. This seems to be all over the place at the moment. 108. Let's make sure that magazine's seated right. 139, 95. 165, 162, 232. All right, okay, it's just jumped up a bit. Don't quite know what's going on with this. 234, 235, 236, 167. Oh, I had my hopes up then. 236, 236, 238, 98, 235. Wow, 230. It really is all over the place. Now, I don't know what's causing that, I'm not a technician, but maybe it might be something that needs cleaning out. Fresh from the factory, it might just have a bit of gunk in the barrel perhaps, or just need the hot units cleaning out. I don't know, like I say, not a technician. Either way, we'll stick it on full auto, see what that's like as burst fire, see what the rate of fire is like. I'm interested. It's got a really nice rate of fire, even just on a 7.4 volt battery. Now, I don't know if that's just because it's got a low spring in there, perhaps. Maybe it was overly downgraded for the UK market. But it feels really nice to shoot. It's just a shame that that FPS seems to be dancing all over the place. I don't know quite what's going on there. I'm just going to do a few more shots on semi just to check out that trigger response. Oh, hello. There we go. I managed to lock up the gearbox ever so slightly, and then I just released the trigger just that little bit too soon. There we go. It does have a really nice trigger response as well. I'm guessing that's down to the fact that they've got the ECS system installed in here from VFC. But yeah, I really don't know what's going on with that erratic muzzle velocity. It's very bizarre. Shame, because it does feel very nice to shoot. Anyway, let's head back down to the studio. So that's the shooting tests, but now we're going to talk about the externals and the internals of the gun. Just go over a few little details, not in massive detail, but just a few of the features that sort of stand out and are worth talking about. First off, up front here, you've got this nice CNC flash hider, which is very nicely finished, very solid, nice little feature on there. Metal flip-up iron sights, which are very solid, very sturdy. You know, it's nice to have those as opposed to just the sort of basic polymer ones that you get on most guns nowadays. The handguard itself, as you can see, is key mod, and it's not just key mod on the 3, 6 and 9 positions, but also on the 45-degree angles. So lots of options there for adding accessories wherever you want them to be. Now the gun does come with 3 rail sections for the key mod system in the box, so that should see you good. You shouldn't need to get yourself any extra rails after that, to be honest. On top you've got the monolithic RIS rail all the way over the top of the receiver and the handguard there, so again plenty of options for optics, accessories, PEC boxes, whatever you want to stick on there. The receiver itself is very nicely finished. It's almost a Cerakote type sort of quality to the paint all over, or the finish all over the gun. So it feels very nice, feels very well made, very well finished. I mean, the whole gun itself actually feels very sturdy. apart from that little bit of stock wobble there. On the other side of the gun, we've got some engravings on here. You've got the Avalon logo. It's very, very fine, very good quality engraving on there as well. You also get a unique serial number on each and every gun. And then obviously you've got your Avalon Weapons Works, etc. All the engravings over here as well. The controls are ambidextrous, and that is all controls apart from the charging handle. So not only the fire selector, but also the mag release there, and also, which you don't see on very many guns at all, but if I pull that back, the bolt release is also ambidextrous. So that's a really interesting feature to have on there, quite nice. I mean, in the real steel world, I should imagine that's a lot more helpful than Airsoft, but it's a nice little thing to have there. As I said before though, charging handle, basic standard charging handle there, just the single lever on the left-hand side. Going back to the pistol grip, very nicely textured, it's quite slimline. I mean, that kind of fits in with the gun itself. It's quite a sort of thin, light gun to operate. And the pistol grip is very comfortable. It's good for me. I don't like the pistol grip too big. It might be a bit too small for bigger hands, say, so you just have to suck it and see, as it were, see how it feels for you. The trigger itself, and if you can see that, is a nice sort of flat bladed with this kind of lightning strike cutout on the inside of the trigger there. It's very comfortable. Nice little notch at the bottom there so your finger doesn't slip off of it. So yeah, it's a nice comfortable trigger. The stock itself, again, keeping with that slimline aesthetic, you've got this nice, it's kind of it looks very similar to enhanced polymer stock, the compact version of the PTS enhanced polymer stock. It's kind of their version of, I suppose, but again, very comfortable. It kind of flares out a little bit, so you get a decent cheek weld, but they're not sections that you can put the battery in, so don't think you're going to get a crane stock battery in there. As far as sling points go, you've got QD mounts on either side of the rear of the receiver. You've got some on the stock as well, and then nothing else on the handguard. So good for a 1-point sling. You might have to get some accessories if you're going to look for a 2-point sling. So there you go, that's the externals. Again, nice solid build quality. Oh, the magazine as well. I don't know, didn't mention the magazine before, but it's this nice sort of waffle patterned polymer affair. It's a 120 round mid cap. Again, it's a polymer magazine. They all pretty much feel very similar, to be honest, but it looks like it'll do the job. Right, now we're going to talk about the insides. It comes with, as standard, a 6.03 type bore barrel. Inside the gearbox itself, there is already a MOSFET. Now, it's not a proprietary system. The MOSFET actually sits in a bit of a gap that sort of exists at the back of most version 2 gearboxes, so it's kind of an inline MOSFET, but it's already wired in there. But as for the gearbox itself, it's just a standard V2 gearbox. You get 8mm ball bearings on the bushings there, so it's a nice sort of high-speed affair. Precision cut steel gears. The trigger is what VFC are calling their electronic control system, ECS, I think it is. Now, I did do some research on it, and I could not find anywhere whether it was a programmable system or not, but it is a very nice snappy trigger response, even on 7.4 volt LiPo, and a decent rate of fire as well. So whatever they're doing in the gearbox there, it feels very nice to use. I mean, as you saw on the shooting test, it wasn't shooting particularly high FPS. Now, that may be just down to the fact that the version we've got here has been overly downgraded for the UK market. I don't know. Obviously, we don't get our hands on higher power weapons, generally speaking, over here. So there we go. That's the gun in a nutshell. I want to like it. I do. It feels very solid. It feels nice to shoot. I wish it was a little bit more powerful, a bit higher FPS. The one thing that concerns me, despite all the niceties of it, is the fact that it's about a 400 quid gun. Now, for that kind of money, you could get yourself something that is proven to be a good performer, reliable. I mean, I'm not going to mention the gun because you probably know which one I'm thinking of. But it's a lot of money to ask for what it is, especially when you consider you've got the likes of Krytax out there, which offer similar, well, same quality, but I would say, out of the box, I would say they probably shoot better. As for the reliability, it's too early. We can't say what the reliability of this is going to be like yet against the Crytek's, but I would say the Crytek's are probably a more viable option at that price point, which is a shame because, yeah, like I say, it's a really nicely finished gun. It feels solid, and I think if you got it shooting well, it would serve you well. But hey, there we go. But there you go. That's the VFC Avalon Rapier. If you like the video, give us a like, give us a share, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down, we don't mind. But yeah, if there's anything else you want us to have a look at in our reviews, then yeah, add it to the comments below. We'll always do our best to get around to them. But for now, this is Kronos Airsoft. We'll see you next time.